Throughout our history, our leaders have understood that private property rights are key to the survival of the individual. If you take his property, you take his livelihood. If you take his property, you attack his spirit. From the day our nation was born, the preservation of private property has been considered a priority of law. Barack Obama wants to use the law to destroy private property. This is what he means when he attacks businesses large and small, when he insists that there must be limits on what you can earn and keep and pass on to your family when you pass away. He wants the government to control your private property, your income, your assets. In other words, my fellow Americans, Barack Obama believes that when you go to work each day, when you save some of your money, when you write your will, the federal government can and must be involved in all of those decisions. What would Jefferson, Madison, Lincoln, and Reagan say about that? Jefferson and Madison would call it the abuses of monarchy. Lincoln would call it the abuses of despotism. Ronald Reagan would call it the tyranny of socialism. Our nation is built on the premise that the federal government has specific limited powers. It has important powers, yes, but they are restricted to certain activities. And the purpose of those powers is not to expand the authority of politicians and bureaucrats in Washington, but to organize society around the concept of individual liberty. The individual is not to be a slave to government. He is not to be an employee of the politician or the bureaucrat. He is to be respected and protected from government. That is why we have a Bill of Rights. That is why we have separation of powers. That is why we have states' rights. For several decades, the left has attempted to destroy these protections. The left does not want to be hemmed in by the Constitution. They have sought ways to avert the legal limits the founders placed on them and their ambitions. And sadly, they have made much progress in this regard, and they have placed all hope that Barack Obama will finally deliver them the victory over the American people they have craved. And make no mistake, my fellow Americans, a Barack Obama victory is a victory over the American people. And that is, in the end, what this election's really about. Will the American people remain free, or will they once and for all become servants of government? Will the politicians and bureaucrats in Washington be empowered to confiscate the hopes, the dreams, the finances, the property of the people as they see fit, any time they see fit, or will the people still be in charge of their own government and their own destiny? That is what this election is all about. When Barack Obama says that he will make sure you do not lose your home, that you will go to college, that you will receive free health care, that you will have child care, that you will be free from want, free from desire, free from need, he repeats the lies of past authoritarians who've made the same claims and the same promises, and who have delivered nothing but poverty, misery, and hopelessness. Obama represents an ideology for which there are no limits on power. He wants to lead a different kind of government, one in which there are no limits to how much it can confiscate from the people. He wants to lead a movement in which the individual is crushed under the weight of the many. And Obama, like others in the past, speaks of democracy as he pursues anti-democratic goals. As his mentor Saul Alinsky taught, you must use the language of the middle class in order to destroy it. So I come to you, my fellow Americans, with a simple message. If you believe in the principles and the institutions that have made this nation great, that have given more liberty and prosperity to more people than any other system on the face of the earth, that have created the most tolerant and giving and successful society in human history, then I urge you to reject the candidate who rejects these and our principles. If you want to leave your children and grandchildren and generations yet to come a country that is as free and hopeful and magnificent as the country you live in today, and that your parents and grandparents left you, you will reject the candidate who rejects individual liberty, private property rights, and the Constitution. Do not allow a charismatic demagogue to change our great nation in ways that will diminish it. You have your destiny and America's destiny in your own hands. You, not the media, not the pollsters, not the pundits. You will decide this election. You will decide if you want to live in America or someplace that you won't recognize in a few years. You will decide if the principles that have served this nation so well will remain our governing principles. This election, only 6 days away, is the most important election in our lifetime. Everything is at stake. We know this because Obama has said so. He has thrown down the gauntlet. He is running against our history. He is running against the system. He is running against our liberty. And so it is that I ask you, on November 4th, next Tuesday, vote for liberty. Your own and the nation's. Vote for opportunity, your own and your children's. Vote for America. Vote for McCain-Palin.